1, 2, two, two. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2. Hello, good morning, and welcome. 1, 2, apples. 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 Hey, hey. 1, 2, apples. Oranges. Bananas. Grapefruit. Watermelon. Cantaloupe. Apples. Oranges. Bananas. Grapefruit. 1, 2, 2. Hey, apples, oranges, bananas, grapefruit, watermelon, cantaloupe. Just let them hang straight down, so as to not mess up my bar. Yeah. And yeah, just let them hang straight down. Hey, hey, 1, 2, and I just tighten them with my fingers. Hey, ho, 1, 2. Can you hear me clearly? 1, 2. You're actually out of the horn path, but apples, oranges, bananas, grapefruit, watermelon, cantaloupe.
Perfect. You covered them. I'll just be nosy.
Oh, yeah. That's my console over there. I have full control of everything.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's pretty sweet.
What do we do for you? Anything? Lights need to do up and down during the thing, or we'll set it and leave it a certain way?
You okay with the way it is? I'm going to point some lights at the podium and get a camera set. Because if you're going to live stream it, people are going to want to see what's happening, right?
Is he live streaming this?
That's what I was told, and recording
Okay.
it.
Oh, okay, nice.
So,
Need Chris here for that? Anything to do with that?
I don't know. If I play some music, can somebody check the live stream and make sure it sounds good?
Sure.
Okay.
You go ahead and do that.
Yeah, if he's up there, or you want to call him or whatever.
All right, what you got?
Gonna take a freight train down at the station, Lord. I don't care where it goes. Gonna climb a mountain, the highest mountain. I jump off, nobody gonna know. Can't you see? Oh, can't you see what that woman, Lord, she been doing to me? Can't you see? Can't you see what that woman, she been doing to me? I'm gonna buy a ticket now, as far as I can. Ain't I never coming back. Ride me a southbound, all the way to Georgia now, till the train and run out of track. Can't you see? Oh, can't you see what that woman, Lord, she been doing check a freight train down at the station. Ain't never coming back. Gonna ride me a southbound all the way to Georgia. Well, I built me her raft and she's ready for flow. Oh, Mississippi, she's calling my name. Catfish are jumping, that paddle wheel thumping. Black water keep rolling on past just the same. Oh, black water, keep on rolling. Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on me? Oh, black water, keep on rolling. Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on me? Oh, black water, keep on rolling. Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on me? Yeah, keep on shining your light. Gonna make everything great. Mama gonna make everything alright. And I ain't got no worries, 'cause I ain't in no hurry at all. Well, if it rains, I don't care. Don't make no difference to me. Just take that streetcar, let's go in uptown. Yeah, I like to hear some funky Dixieland and dance a honky tonk. And I'll be buying everybody drinks all around. Oh, black water, keep on rolling. Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on me? Oh, black water, keep on rolling. Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on me? Oh, black water, keep on rolling. Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on me? Keep on shining your light. Gonna make everything, everything, gonna make everything alright. And I ain't got no worries, 'cause I ain't in no hurry at all. With your daddy all night long. I'd like to hear some funky Dixieland. Pretty mama, come and take me by the hand. By the hand, take me by the hand. Pretty mama, come and dance with your daddy all night long. I'd like to hear some funky Dixieland. Pretty mama, come and take me by the hand. By the hand, take me by the hand. Pretty mama, come and dance with your daddy all night long. I'd like to hear some funky Dixieland. Pretty mama, come and take me by the hand. Come on, baby. Take me by the hand. Pretty mama, come and dance with your daddy all night long. I'd like to hear some funky Dixieland. Pretty mama, come and take me by the hand. By the hand, take me by the hand. Pretty mama, come and dance with your daddy all night long. I'd like to hear some funky Dixieland. Pretty mama, come and take me by the hand. By the hand, take me by the hand.
She doesn't own a dress. Her hair is always a mess. If you catch her stealing, she won't confess. She's beautiful, smokes a pack a day. You can wait, that's me, but anyway, she doesn't care a thing about that. Hey, she thinks I'm beautiful. Meet Virginia. She never compromises, loves babies and surprises, wears high heels when she exercises. Ain't that beautiful? Meet Virginia. Well, she wants to be the queen, and she thinks about her scene. Pulls her hair back as she screams, I really want to be the queen. Daddy wrestles alligators, Mama works on carburetors, and brother is a fine mediator for the president. Well, here she is again on the phone, just like me, hates to be alone. We just like to sit at home and rip on the president. Meet Virginia. Well, she wants to live her life, and she thinks about her life. Pulls her hair back.
How are we looking?
She
Oh, that's hot.
screams, I don't really wanna live this life.
Huh?
She only drinks coffee at midnight when the moment is not right. Timing is quite unusual. You see, her confidence is tragic, but her intuition magic in the shape of a
Camera wasn't on.
unusual. Meet Virginia.
I cut the camera off.
I can't wait to
The camera.
meet Virginia, yeah, yeah, hey, hey, hey. Well, she wants to be the queen, and she thinks about her scenes. Well, she wants to live her life, and she thinks about her life. Pulls her hair back as she screams, I don't really wanna be the queen. I don't really wanna be the queen. I don't really wanna be the queen. I don't really wanna live.
Hey, this is Pat Monahan from Train. We're hitting the road this summer on our Play That Song tour, and we'd love to see you all at the show. Any show. Tap the screen to view tour dates.
She's a good
Open air recording.
girl, loves her mama, loves Jesus in America too. She's a good girl, is crazy about Elvis, loves horses and her boyfriend too. And it's a long day.
Yes.
Living in
But I'm at work right now.
Reseda,
I'm at work
there's
right
a
now. Can you send me a video or
freeway
something?
running through the yard.
Brad Hicks,
And I'm a
1961 at
bad
Gmail.
boy, 'cause I don't even miss her.
Yep. Just send me an email first, right? Send me an email and I'll get that because I have to write it down. Send the show. Okay? Thanks.
Home with broken hearts. I'm free. Free falling.
Huh? My house.
Yeah, I'm free.
I'm gonna put them up on the TV. I'm putting them on the house. I'm putting them up on the
Free falling.
Put all that. Put the power. Put the power.
just dreaming, counting the ways to where you are. I'm 22 for a moment, and she feels better than ever, and we're on fire, making our way back from Mars. 15, there's still time for you, time to buy and time to lose. 15, there's never a wish better than this, when you only got 100 years to live. I'm 33 for a moment, I'm still the man, but you see I'm a there, a kid on the way, babe, a family on my mind. I'm 45 for a moment, the sea is high and I'm heading through war crosses, chasing the years of my life. 15, there's still time for you, time to buy and time to lose yourself within a morning star. 15, I'm alright with you. 15, there's never a wish better than this, when you only got 100 years to live. Half time goes by, suddenly you're wise, another blink of an eye. 67 is gone, the sun is getting high, we're moving on. I'm 99 for a moment, I'm dying for just another moment, and I'm just dreaming, counting the ways to where you are. 15, there's still time for you. 22, I feel her too. 33, you're on your way. Every day's a new day. Never been a sinner, I never sinned. I got a friend in Jesus. So you know that when I die, He's gonna set me up, the Spirit in the sky. Oh, set me up, the Spirit in the sky. That's where I'm gonna go when I die. When I die and they lay me to rest, I'm gonna go to the place that's the best. Go to the place that's the best. Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in. Then I'll watch them roll away again. Yeah. I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. I left my home in Georgia, headed for the Frisco Bay. I've had nothing to live for. Look like nothing's gonna come my way. So I'm just gonna sit on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Look like nothing's gonna change. Everything still remains the same. I can't do what 10 people tell me to do, so I guess I'll remain the same. Sitting here resting my bones, and this loneliness won't leave me alone. This 2,000 miles I roam just to make this dock my home. Now I'm just gonna sit at the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time.
Took my love and I took it down. Climbed a mountain and I turned around, and I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills till the landslide brought me down. Oh, child within my heart rise above. And can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life? I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Well, I've been afraid of changing 'cause I built my life around you. But time makes you bolder. Children get older. I'm getting older too. So I've been afraid of changing 'cause I built my life around you. But time makes you bolder. Children get older. I'm getting older too. Oh yes, I'm getting older too. So could you take this love, take it down? Oh, if you climb a mountain and you turn around, if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills where the landslide will bring it down, down. And if you see my reflection in the snow covered hills where the landslide will bring it down. Oh, where the landslide will bring it down. Where the landslide will bring it down. Where the landslide will bring it
There's something happening here, but what it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there, telling me I got to beware. I think it's time we stop. Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. There's battle lines being drawn. Nobody's right if everybody's wrong. Young people speaking their minds are getting so much resistance from behind. Time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. What a field day for the heat. 1,000 people in the street, singing songs and a carrying signs, mostly say hooray for our side. It's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Paranoia strikes deep into your life, it will creep. It starts when you're all sound of your own wheels drive you crazy. Lighten up while you still can. Don't even try to understand. Just find a place to make your stand. Take it easy. Well, I'm standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona. It's such a fine sight to see. It's a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford, slowing down to take a look at me. Come on, baby, don't say maybe. I gotta know if your sweet love is gonna save me. We may lose and we may win, but we will never be here again. So open up, I'm climbing in. So take it easy. comes round and she goes down on me. And I make you smile like a drug for you. Do ever what you wanna do, coming over you. Keep on smiling what we go through. One stop to the rhythm that divides you. And I speak to you like the chorus to the verse. Drop another line like a coda with the curse. Coming like a freak show takes the stage. We give them the game she plays. She say, I want something else to get me through this semi-time kind of life. Baby, baby, I want something else. I'm not listening when you say goodbye. The sky was gold, it was rose. I was taking sips of it to my nose, and I wish I could get back there, someplace back there, smiling in the pictures you would take. To a crystal meth will lift you up until you break. It won't stop. I won't come down and keep stop with the tick-tock rhythm. I bumped for the drop and then I bumped up. I took the hit that I was given, then I bumped again, then I bumped again. I said, how do I get back there to the place where I fell asleep inside you? How do I get myself back to the place where you said I want something else to get me through this semi-time kind of life? Baby, baby, I want something else. I'm not listening when you say goodbye. I believe in the sand beneath my toes. The beach gives a feeling, energy feeling. I believe in the faith that grows, and the four-line chords can make me cry. When I'm with you, I feel like I could die, and that will be alright, alright. And when the plane came in, she said she was crossing the velvet eclipse in the sea. We tripped on the earth to feel alive, and now I'm struggling to survive those days you were wearing that velvet dress. You're the priestess, I must confess. Those little red panties, they passed the test. So I slip around the belly, face down on the mattress one, and you hold me, and we are broken. Still it's all that I wanna do, just to live and I'll feel myself heavy off the ground. I'm scared, I'm not coming down. No, no, and I won't run from my heart. She's got my thoughts now locked down in a smile, but nothing is alright, alright. I want something else. Once upon a midnight period, I woke with something in my head. I couldn't escape the memory of a phone call and of what you said. Like a game show, just with a parting gift. I could not believe my eyes when I saw through the parts of a trusted friend. And did you humor me and tell me lies? Yeah, humor me and tell me lies. And I'll lie to and say I don't mind. And as we sit, so shall we find. And when the feeling of it'll still be here, but now without a certain degree of fear, I don't know what will be. For you and me, I still can see things hopefully. But yeah, why you wanna give me a run around? Is it surefire way to speed things up when all it does is slow me down? Shake me in confidence about a great many things, but I've been there, I can see it, how like a nervous magician waiting in the wings of a bad play where the heroes are right. Nobody thinks or expects too much. Hollywood's calling for the movie rights, singing, hey baby, let's keep in touch. Hey baby, let's keep in touch. But I'm more than a touch. I want you to reach me and show me all the things no one else can see. So what you feel become mine as well. And soon if we're lucky, we'd be unable to tell what's yours and mine. Patience fine and it doesn't have to run. So don't you feed me alive, but yeah. Why you wanna give me a run around? Is it surefire way to speed things up when all it does is slow me down? Perhaps I've grown a little cynical, but I know no matter what the waitress brings, I should drink it and always be full. Yeah, I will drink it and always be full. I like coffee and I like tea. I could be able to enter a final plea. I still got this dream that you just can't shake. I love you to the point you can no longer take. But right, okay, so be that way. Hope and pray that there's something left to say. But yeah, why you wanna give me a run around? Is it surefire way to speed things up when all it does is slow me down? Oh yeah, why you wanna give me a run around? Is it surefire way to speed things up when all it does is slow me down?
You come on flat top, you come grooving up slowly. Got you
Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? Ladies and gentlemen, our program will start in 5 minutes. I encourage the families to come all the way down to the floor, the families of the inductees and the inductees to come all the way down to the floor. I encourage others to have a seat in the stands. Again, we'll start in about 5 minutes. No. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Scott Allison, Director of Athletics here at Roanoke College, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2017 Roanoke College Athletic Hall of Fame recognition ceremony. Tonight is a very special night. We recognize 4 deserving former Roanoke College student athletes that brought fame and honor to our athletic program. This year's class, as always, brings an impressive list of achievements to the hall. Their legacy is not lost on our current student athletes and coaches. We're proud to stand on their shoulders as we represent Roanoke College in the athletic arena. Welcome to our new home. Pretty nice, eh? The Kreger Center has become the talk of the town. The Kreger Center has become the talk of all the state of Virginia and the entire nation, NCAA Division III. In addition to the new home for Maroon basketball, volleyball, and track and field, we've tied it into the facility into Kerr Stadium. Such creates a complex that rivals any you'd find on a campus that boasts even an NCAA Division I label. The Kreger Center and Kerr Stadium are magnets, drawing the public to our beautiful campus. Just this year, we've hosted the following. In December, we hosted the NCAA Division III Men's and Women's Soccer Championships. In February, we hosted the Virginia High School League 1A, 2A, and 3A, 4A Track and Field State Championships. At the end of this spring sports season, the Kreger Kerr Complex will be the site of the NCAA Division III Women's Lacrosse Championships, as well as the Virginia High School League Boys and Girls 3A and 4A Soccer and Lacrosse Championships. Before we get started, I do want to recognize a couple people that are here in the crowd. Jim Buriak, where are you? I know you're floating around here. Mr. B, our longtime athletic trainer, and I know everybody kind of remembers him. So, Mr. B also serves on our Hall of Fame recognition committee. We have 2 special guests here. First and foremost, Ms. Terry Maxey, and her wonderful husband, our leader, Mr. Mike Maxey. Mike, come on up.
Thank you, Coach. I'm pleased that you're all here, as impressive as this place is, and it's impressive. All 4 of these athletes were more impressive. That's the amazing thing about tonight. I'm happy to be here to share in this wonderful evening when we recognize 4 individuals whose achievements have gone down in Roanoke College history in all of your cases. Thank you for what you've done. We have many, many friends and family and teammates who've joined us this evening, and I want to say welcome to everyone who's here tonight. It's wonderful to see this kind of support in the land of Maroon here on campus. I want to personally congratulate all 4 of our inductees, men's lacrosse teammates John Mason and Don Tracy, women's soccer star Jill Hoffmeister DeMello, and men's soccer star Reggie Francois. Sincere congratulations and thanks for what you contributed to your alma mater. I'm really proud and honored to be here with you tonight. And now to get things started in a more official way, I want to bring Scott Allison back to the stage.
The Roanoke College Athletic Hall of Fame was established in 1971. Its purpose is to honor those student athletes that have made history while playing for their respective athletic programs at the college. This year, the Hall of Fame Selection Committee has selected 4 distinguished alumni for recognition. Our procedures are quite simple. We'll call each of our inductees, we'll recognize each of our inductees. We'll all view a video produced by Steve Mason, class of '92, an alumnus. After the video, President Maxey will present the inductee with his or her Hall of Fame certificate. At that point, our photographer will take a photo with the inductee, President Maxey, and his or her respective coach. We welcome family members that are down here to take advantage of this photo opportunity. After photos are complete, our inductees will take the stage, or take the podium, for a few brief remarks. Sound good? Let's get started. Ms. Jill Hoffmeister DeMello. Pay attention to the screen.
All region, all ODAC, and all over the Roanoke College record books. Jill Hoffmeister DeMello not only impacted the program, but teammates for a lifetime.
I was fortunate enough to perform Jill and Dave's wedding ceremony. I don't know how many years ago now, a handful. And I remember crying when they asked me to perform the ceremony because it was just a testament to how special those bonds are. And to think that Roanoke College and the women's soccer program helped us connect is something that I think we'll all be forever grateful to Roanoke and to Phil.
I mean, they've been part of my life, like literally since freshman year. Preseason, they were like, you met them the first time you're on campus. So yes, it is amazing that we've like come this far and we have friendships and now we're having kids together at the same time.
First meeting Jill, she was a little intimidating, you know, from Boston and just kind of quiet, keeps to herself.
I mean, we were excited that she chose Roanoke, obviously, and then when she got to preseason is really when we knew what we had. You know, her ability to go to goal and that desire to go to goal just stood out.
I always played like midfield or forward for the most part, but it wasn't until I came to Roanoke that they focused on my shooting and the technique, which I think, you know, I always had that, but it really wasn't until I came here where I became a stronger striker.
While at Roanoke, the 2005 graduate put up Hall of Fame numbers. She is still the Maroons' all-time leading scorer with 61 goals. Jill was indeed at the top of every opponent's scouting report.
As a head coach at Hollins, I tried my best to stop and contain Jill, but Jill just basically did anything she wanted to do at that time. So it was a really neat opportunity when I came over and Phil gave me the opportunity to coach the ODAC Player of the Year, to coach the All-Region Player, and have the opportunity to see at firsthand who Jill Hoffmeister was.
She would get herself in scoring positions that would undeniably end in a goal. And I can think of actual photographs, I can think of just snapshots in my mind of Hoff being able to get a defender on her back and just break free to net. And I would have not wanted to be one of those goalkeepers because, I mean, Hoff wasn't going to stop until the ball was in the back of the net.
The reason why I think I had so much success, it really is just having a strong team around you. Obviously, you know I like had those goals and stuff, but my teammates were huge. Just having skill around you that's equal to you makes all the difference.
The 2001 ODAC Rookie of the Year was unselfish as well. She ranks 5th all-time at Roanoke in assists, winning games and winning her teammates from her forward position.
She really got involved, all of her teammates, coming into the midfield, a supporting role if they needed to be, and get others involved. And so as you can see statistically, all those assists that she had later on in her career just shows you how much a well-rounded player she was, or she became.
Jill was a very serious person, you know, on and off the field. And, you know, when she got between the lines, it was all, you know, just focused in. And that really translated to the team, you know, as a team captain, her senior year, you know, she just led with that focus.
Jill was a 4-time All-ODAC selection, including 3 first-team nods. She also earned NSCAA All-South Region honors 3 times. When the game was on the line, she wanted the ball and collected a Roanoke record 15 game winners.
Jill was definitely a finisher. If the ball was in the 18, no matter where it was, she was going to finish it, or she was going to have the assist to have that person finish it. She was, if it was anywhere near the goal, it was going in.
When she scored goals, it wasn't just, you know, against the bottom half of the league. They were against, you know, the top teams in the league: Lynchburg, W&L, Virginia Wesleyan, Johns Hopkins out of the leagues. I mean, her ability to score goals, and even important goals, and 15 game goal winners in her career, just sets her apart.
If it wasn't for soccer, like I don't think I would have enjoyed my experience in college as much. I don't want to say it was my life, because like I said, I mentioned I loved all my teachers as well, and I loved Roanoke, but it was really soccer that made my experience, and so to get this honor is pretty amazing.
Roanoke College is honored to welcome Jill Hoffmeister DeMello into the Roanoke College Athletic Hall of Fame.
Jill and Phil, can you join us in front of the podium for your picture? And then afterwards, we'll have Jill approach the podium for her remarks.
Well, thank you so much. It really is an honor to be inducted with all these amazing athletes. Even my father-in-law actually being another inductee, so it's pretty amazing. Sorry, Dave. But I really, like I said in the video, playing soccer was really made my experience here. I mean, my best memories are with playing on the field and my teammates. So I really need to thank Phil and all of my coaches, Esteban, Dustin, Bev, Shelly, and also my teammates. I mentioned you guys also in the video, but it was really all you guys that pushed me to do my best and try to be better for you guys. So I definitely would not have had as much personal success without you guys. So thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Reginald Francois.
Reggie Francois cruised into Salem in the late 90s and made an immediate impression, but not on the soccer field.
Well, I came to Roanoke and I had this car. It was a 1995 Mitsubishi Diamante station wagon, tricked out, and I don't think there was ever another one like that around. I started doing essentially the MTV show Pimp My Ride to it, putting parts and pieces to it, and one of those pieces was adding the rims.
The spinners were a big kind of joke amongst the team. I don't know how much they cost them, but they appeared to cost more than the car itself, if I can remember correctly.
He soon proved his own motor was just as impressive. Finding a place on the field where he could excel was critical, and the recruited defender soon found himself changing positions.
His career started off a little slower than probably we all hoped, because I think as coaches we probably made a mistake and started him out as a defender. We recruited him as a defender, but quickly realized he had some special attacking qualities.
Coach Allison moved him into the middle, and then kind of unleashed Reggie is the best way to put it, because for the next 2 years he was a monster. He ended up being ODAC Player of the Year, was able to kind of lead us into 2 NCAA tournament runs, 2 ODAC championships.
I think a key to the transition was having played defense and knowing what a defender would look for. So when I was attacking, I was able to hone in on a defensive player's body position, where he would put his weight on his back leg, and then be able to attack him and make him vulnerable as I was attacking the player. So that helped out tremendously in transitioning from defense to offense.
His speed was top of the line. His quickness was something that you really didn't ever see anywhere else in the ODAC. And then his technical ability was unmatched anywhere. So putting the 3 of those things together made him a very dangerous player.
Reggie gave new meaning to the attacking midfielder position. During his tenure in maroon and white, he earned NSCAA All-Region 3 years and was an All-ODAC first-team selection twice.
He could go at people, and I don't even think Reggie knew what he was going to do to get by him, but he was confident enough that he was going to do enough with his feet, with a body feint, with a step over, that a fake, that he could get by somebody.
But I think his technical ability and his off-the-cuff stuff was what he did best. He could really unbalance defenders with his shiftiness, his ability to feint and move and get people unbalanced, and that's when he, one, facilitated for others very well, but then also could find goals for himself.
He brought a flair to the game, a bit of creativity. Reggie brought an ability to unbalance the other team and an unpredictability to a group that was solid across the board.
As a key member of the Maroon squad, he helped lead Roanoke to a pair of NCAA appearances. He currently ranks 7th in scoring in the Roanoke College record books.
My technique was a little bit unconventional in terms of me getting an advantage where I would shift their entire momentum one way and I would go the other. So that was a lot of creating space in the drunken style technique, as Glenn Heyman calls it, and that would open up slots for me to be able to attack and then essentially score a goal.
Probably the most dynamic player I've ever played with. He's one of the few athletes I've ever seen that are faster with the ball than without the ball. He gets the ball and he would be able to put defenders on their heels and really caused a lot of problems going forward.
There are going to be players that are more aggressive and attacking natured, that want the ball and want the ball in front of the goal in pressure situations, and that is something, Reggie always wanted the ball. If there was ever a time we needed a goal, he was the person you wanted to have the ball.
To our opposition was always the one that drew the most attention, and it's no wonder why they chose him as Player of the Year his senior year, and Player of the Year in the state as well as the Old Dominion Athletic Conference.
Roanoke College welcomes Reggie Francois, class of 2002, into the Roanoke College Athletic Hall of Fame.
Oh, Reggie, you and me and Mike. That's great.
So Jill told me she had maybe a 2-minute speech ready. I've got 4 note cards to share with you. And it starts with goal. I've always wanted to scream that into a microphone. And aside from that, we did have a very special team, winning back-to-back ODAC championships in 2001, 2002, and we were all very prolific scorers. Now, I'd like to think that we had MSN. You may have heard of these guys, Messi, Suarez, and Neymar, before MSN was put together. We donned ourselves with the nickname, the Three-Headed Monster. It was Dave Lectrecker, Brandon Moffitt, and myself. Coach A was the magisterial architect of this formation, and Coach A always had a vision when it came to coaching and constantly made adjustments to make our team better. Coach A also worked with Dustin Fonder and Brainstorm, and by binding their brilliant soccer minds, they co-created a formation that included the attacking center mid. That's where I stepped in and excelled. I could thrive in the attacking center mid position because Harold McConnell, AKA Ace, picked up all the defensive responsibilities. Needless to say, I absolutely love the schematic, and I bought into the system immediately. To tie all of this together, I started as a freshman as a sweeper. That is not a typo on the Roanoke website. I was in charge of the defense. Luckily, we received a defensive stalwart in Glenn Heyman, and he took charge of the defense. Coach A and Dustin, they saw something, and they made the key adjustments that propelled us to ODAC champions. I want to send a heartfelt thank you to my folks. Without them, I wouldn't be the man nor the player that played at Roanoke. They made endless sacrifices, bringing me to practices, games, tournaments, no matter the day, time, location. I also want to thank Coach A for taking a chance on me and sticking with me. and your knowledge and tutelage on and off the field means the world to me. I could also name every single player on the teams that I played on because we were truly that special. Without them, I wouldn't be here before you receiving this accolade. For my official recruiting visit with Ryan Flugrad, AKA Flu, he was the host that when my parents picked me up the following day, I immediately got motion sickness in the car. But of note, Flu was a great leader on the field. It is no coincidence that he is the head coach of the soccer team today. From NCAA tournament trips to Brazil, I'd do anything for these guys. Playing soccer at Roanoke has created some of the fondest memories of my life. Just know this is not the last time that you will be hearing from this team. Thank you for sharing this moment with me.
Men's lacrosse, Mr. John Mason.
As soon as we got him here, I knew we had to change everything we did on offense because I saw what he could do and how he could catch every pass, whether there's 2 guys on him, 3 guys on him. And I told everybody on the team, we have to learn from him how to play for him.
Mason grew up in Orangeville, Ontario, and found a lacrosse stick in his hands at age 3. Lacrosse runs deep in the Mason bloodlines.
I grew up in a lacrosse crazed family. Started with my dad, who was a great goaltender. Dad won, I think, what they call 5 President's Cups. He played for Team Canada. So I think seeing just the the excitement and the happiness that he had and his team had to lift that trophy up, and it made me want to be a winner and try to win championships throughout my career in box lacrosse, which you guys call indoor. And I was always practicing and shooting on the net in the backyard and playing wall ball. And my mom would spend hours in the backyard with me, tossing me the ball, and then I'd shoot it on the net. And I grew up in an organization called Orangeville, which is a lacrosse hotbed. And basically we eat, sleep, and played lacrosse.
That superior lacrosse DNA was evident on campus. Mason amassed 282 points, also #1 in Roanoke record books, on his way to averaging over 3.5 goals a contest for the Maroons.
I don't think I've ever seen it at any level, Division 1, 2, 3, or professional. I don't think I've ever seen a goal scorer like him.
As soon as that ball left his stick, that's when he was the most dangerous. Even for someone his size, his ability to just get his hands free, and that's all it took.
I would always say, even if Mason has somebody on his back, he's open. Throw it to him. He'll catch whatever, and he's always deceivingly open.
My father always made sure I had basically no pocket in my stick, so almost like a women's lacrosse stick. And I used to play with a tennis ball. I wasn't allowed to use lacrosse ball around the house. So I think just using, basically no pocket and the light ball made me really get a feel for catching and releasing.
Mason became a 3-time All-American, earning first-team honors his senior year. He led the Maroons to back-to-back NCAA semifinal appearances in 2005 and 2006. Mason was also a 4-time All-ODAC selection.
Amazing thing about John Mason is, and I've always told this to people, is first of all, when he shot the ball, he pretty much put it on net, the 6x6. He was used to shooting on a 4x4 goal his whole life, so now he shoots on a 6x6 net. He always put it on net, and it either went in or it hit the goalie. The goalies did not save his shots. You would rarely see a goalie catch one of his shots. It either hits him in the leg or it goes in. And on the rare occasion, it would miss. He was that good.
When Coach Pilot put me on the crease, I felt at home there. So, having little plays like picking guys and, giving defenders little shoves on the hips and then just kind of open your stick up for that couple seconds. And then obviously the key is that your teammates are going to get the ball into you, which, most of the time they did. So it was, it just seemed to come together naturally.
Man, he could catch anything, He's used to shooting on those little goals, and what was nice for midfielders and everybody else that played with him is I could dodge and I'd look either at the goal or I'd look at Mason. I could shoot at either one of them, and he'd catch it and score, or I'd try to put it on net. So it was, it was awesome.
247 goals, 61 more than the second leading goal scorer in program history. John Mason was efficient, lethal, and accurate as Roanoke's most prolific scorer.
Yeah, well, he had the best hands, I think, of anyone that I ever played with, and you could throw it to him, within probably a 6-foot radius, on any direction, and he would catch it and then finish it. There's probably 2 or 3 assists I have that, had no reason to be assists unless the ball was being passed to John Mason.
I think that our team molded around his skill set. Coach Pilot, he pulled the strings the right way to put us in the right situations, but he was incredible. I mean, if he didn't have 4 goals, we were like, what happened to Mace out there? I mean, he was just outstanding. He is a special talent. One of the best inside finishers I've ever seen.
When you look at a box net with a goalie in it, you don't see much. You have to really pick the fine spots, the corners, down low, up high. Where in field, you have a lot more room to make a mistake. Even if you're off by a couple inches, as long as you're putting in that right area, you're gonna hit that net.
We've had so many unbelievable goal scorers at Roanoke College, and Mason is the best. There's no doubt, there's no argument. No one's will ever come close to the goals Mason has put up. Never. Never in my lifetime will it happen.
John Mason, welcome to the Roanoke College Athletic Hall of Fame.
John, please come forward. Coach Pilot, come on forward.
Gum. Canada, you have gum and you have Word documents. I apologize for bringing the cold weather down. So bear with me. A lot of people I want to thank today. First of all, I want to thank the Hall of Fame committee and Scott Allison for the great honor of inducting me into the Hall of Fame. I'm very gratified of this award and will always be thankful for it. Secondly, I want to congratulate the other inductees, Reggie, Jill, and Dawn. It's an honor to be inducted with you. Congratulations on all your success. So, as you can tell by the video, my lacrosse journey started when I was born with a lacrosse stick. I grew up in a lacrosse-crazed family in the hotbed of Orangeville, Ontario, Canada. I started off at a young age playing and watching my father play at a high level in box lacrosse and winning various championships. Both of my sisters also played lacrosse competitively, and my mother was always there to be my #1 support and fan. She spent countless hours in the backyard working on my stick work and backhand shot. Stick work that would come in handy one day at a place called Roanoke. My sister Paige, younger sister, who played for Team Canada, also made her way to Roanoke a few years after me and made a 4-year impact on the women's team under Coach Schwartz. Paige and I overlapped for 1 year, and being able to share that special bond at Roanoke is something I will always cherish. In 2002, I joined a last-minute Canadian All-Star team my last year of high school, and we traveled to a turkey shoot tournament in Ithaca, New York. This is also where I met Malcolm Chase, the current assistant coach for Coach Pilot. After a great, he opened my eyes to Roanoke and got me down for a recruiting trip. After meeting Coach Pilot and staying with future Hall of Famer Chris Keating, I knew Roanoke was the place for me. The rest, as they say, is history. I'd like to thank Elise Bennett at this time. Elise played a major role in the recruitment process and always made the process smooth for myself and my sister when we came to Roanoke. My first year at Roanoke, we came up short in the ODAC championship, losing to WNL 9-7 in 2004. We arguably should have got a bid to the NCAA tournament, and I think we could have done some damage, but unfortunately we didn't. However, this close game would give most of the freshmen and sophomore a taste of the big stage and a lesson on close games and how to win.
experience that would come in handy in 2005 and 2006 when we made it all the way to the NCAA Final Four twice. I still think about our overtime loss to Salisbury in 2006 almost every day, something I wish we could have gotten another shot at. We were so close, one goal away from playing in Eagle Stadium in Philadelphia. We were an incredible team, and those two back-to-back Final Fours in Salisbury could have gone either way. There's so many guys on those teams that that have never got their names in the paper or were given an award or an accolade, but played amazing minutes and did everything they could for those Roanoke teams and deserve recognition. Guys like Andrew Hall, Nick Derby, the McGinsky brothers, Tom Schaefer, Adam Leahy, Pat Hurley, Ryan Wilkerson, Chase Phelps, and Matt Duke, just to name a few. I know there's many more. And of course, the coaching staff of Pilot and Haas, two guys who led the way day in and day out. In 2007, which may be my proudest year, we won the ODAC championship, and it capped off a great 4 years. Why so proud? Well, we lost almost all our starters and key players from 2006, and the word being spread around the country that we were in a rebuilding phase. Rebuilding, words I just couldn't live with. Being captain my senior year was a huge honor, probably the greatest thing that happened to me because it was decided on by a player vote. It's a great feeling when 50 guys vote and are looking to you to be one of the leaders. After a bad start, well, at least from Roanoke standards, we were 5-4 to start the season. I remember sitting the team down without the coaches to try and turn the ship around. Next thing I knew, we came together, we rallied off 9 straight wins and won the ODAC championship over Lynchburg and made our 3rd straight trip to the NCAA tournament and played in our 4th straight ODAC championship. I wouldn't be here today with all my teammates, amazing people on and off the field. I was fortunate to play with some great offensive players, and just to name a few, Chris Keating, Chaz Carlson, Dan Reed, Brendan Moore, Chris Davis, Garrett Raelian, Billy Cameron, Tuck Schroeder, and of course my longtime attack partner, Zach Thomas. Zach and I played together for 3 years, and we were the perfect complement to each other. The offense doesn't score goals without the help of the defense and the goalies. These are the ones that do the dirty work and get the ball up to the offensive players to score the goals. This includes guys like Matt Madelon, Jake Dorsey, Ben Love, Sam Love, Josh Bryant, Rich Lee, Tom Schaefer, Mike Brennan, Steve Simmons, Wes McFarland, John McGinsky, Nick Derby, and Andrew Hall, to name a few. I'm sure there's a few I missed out, but there was probably about 150 I played with over 4 years. As you can tell, I'm very proud of all my former teammates. They're the reason, along with Coach Pilot and my parents, why I'm standing here today. Before I close, I'd like to thank a few more people. My wife, Amanda, who's been putting up with my lacrosse antics since high school, is now my loving wife with 2 kids. I wouldn't be here without her support and help over the years. My two kids, Jack and Audrey, are here today. I know they won't remember it because they're pretty young, but it's special to me to know that they're here. Both my sisters, Paige, who I mentioned, my older sister, Amy, and her family are here today. Thank you so much for coming down here. It means a lot. And my Aunt Jane and Uncle Don, who also made the trip down from Canada. And finally, my parents, who, as you could tell from the video, have had a stick in my hand since I was born and have traveled to all my games and always been so supportive. I can remember in 2005, we played in the ODAC championship, and they drove down Friday night after work, all the way from Canada. It was about a 15-hour drive. Got there, drove through the night, got there for the game, watched the game, and then drove back to Canada 15 hours. So that's the type of people they are. I also want to thank Coach Pilot. Coach Pilot, you're the best coach I've ever had. You've had a large impact on my life, on and off the field. You deserve a national championship, and I know that one day it will come, and it will be worth the wait and the countless hours you have put into this program. I'm always here for you, and I will never forget all the things you have done for me and my family at Roanoke. Thank you for the lessons, guidance, and support during my time at Roanoke. I want to thank Coach Carl Haas, who led the defense for 4 years, which was an amazing defense and helped things on offense a lot. I want to thank Ben and Sam Love's dad, Tom Love, who would bring a Canadian flag to all the games and hang it up. You'll never know how much that meant to me, and I'm very grateful for it. Thank you. All the great professors I had at Roanoke who were always there to be supportive of my athletic career. There's so many families coming from Canada. I didn't know anybody coming down here, but everyone was really open. The McGinskys, Loves, Carlsons, Keatings, Thomases, Bryants, Moores, McFarlands, Brennans, Leahys, and many, many more. Especially the McGinskys, who would have me home for Thanksgiving every year because Canada celebrates Thanksgiving a month early, and they were always welcoming to me in their home like a second family. Thanks to the athletic department at Roanoke as well. Finally, to close, to the 07 graduates and my best friends who were with me every step of the way, and to this day, John McGinty, Wes McFarland, Brendan Moore, and Andrew Hall. In 2004, there were probably 30 freshmen who started out in the fall with the team. By the end of senior year, 2007, there were only 5 of us left standing. Congrats to all 4 of you on a great career at Roanoke. We don't make those 2 Final Fours and play in 4 ODAC championships without you. As I close this chapter in my life, I start a new one. My son Jack, who turns 3, will be starting lacrosse next week in Canada, and I've signed up to be the coach, and I couldn't be more excited. Thank you. Have a great night.
Last but not least, class of 92 men's lacrosse, Mr. Don Tracy.
We knew that if we needed a goal, if we needed to stop, we'd put the big man in and he'd take care of business.
On the field with Don Tracy, and your heart starts thumping. He was an intimidating ball player.
Donnie Tracy stood 6'5" and weighed 235 pounds, a presence on the lacrosse field that earned him an appropriate nickname.
All I can hear in the back of my mind is Brian Doyle, one of my classmates freshman year, sounding the horn, give him the D-train horn and start the train up. And Donnie would, get the ball to the top of the box, and he would literally just barrel over these poor kids.
I said, when you go on the field, I want you to run as fast as you can and just run over the guy in front of you. And he said, well, Coach, what if I drop the ball? I said, I don't care, because the next time the guy's going to get out of your way. And that's exactly what happened. He would just run guys over, and guys would step out of the way, or he'd score. And then he got good at it where he could make body contact with the guy and never drop the ball. So he was such a force coming down the field. And we set up actual substitutions where he was the last guy to come onto the field. So not only did he have a run at the guy, he had a 35-yard run at the guy. So he was running 35 yards full speed at 6'5", 235 pounds at a guy who was 5'9", 155 pounds. So we won that matchup every time.
I would dodge, and I would dodge hard. And I think by the end of the season, most people knew I was going to go to my left. But if you go hard and fast, it still works.
There was a few guys that would start making the diesel truck sound and the horn sound as Donnie's coming in on this dodge. And then, he blows the kid up and shoots and scores. And everybody yelled and screamed. It was a lot of fun.
But there was oh so much more than power behind the number 15 jersey. The former Roanoke basketball player had great feet, finesse, and a knack for distributing the ball.
Most, if not all of the time, he drew the long stick midi, and the best defensive midfielder on the field. And also, you could tell that our opponent's game plan was an early slide on Donnie, and usually, a lot of times it was a double slide because one slide wasn't enough to stop him. And so that would get the defense moving, and that would free up the whole offense.
Tracy earned USI LA First Team All-American honors in 1992, while leading the Maroons to the NCAA Division III National Championship.
Donnie Tracy was the first midfielder in Roanoke lacrosse history to be named First Team All-American. We've had a lot of great midfielders before him, and he was the first, and Colin McGarren was also the first. They both made it in 1992.
Learning from other guys at how hard they played really, I think, is where I figured it out in 92. And I used all the skills sort of I had, and it wasn't stick skills, it wasn't really necessarily stick protection, but it was size and speed.
He was a major presence on a team that, went almost all the way in winning the national championship. We came up one game short, and his leadership was a big part of our success. And I know we had a couple of captains, but Donnie was looked at as one of the leaders and captains on that team as well.
D-Train was also a first-team all-conference selection and an integral part of Roanoke's 2 conference titles during his tenure.
What I remember playing with Donnie was he not only was a great ball player, but he was a great teammate. For me, being a freshman, finding that confidence on the field and building that confidence, he used to tell me, Blad, nobody can stop you. Just run by him with your speed. You can get right by him. And you know, he was a great teammate like that, and helped talk you up and coach you through your mistakes. And he was a true leader too.
The guys that came before me and helped me to learn the game and become the player that I was, I can't thank them enough. And then learning from Coach Pilot and J.B. Clark made it all possible. And the fact that we as a team in '92 we're a tight-knit family. We had a great time. We loved each other.
Being a first-team All-American on a team that played in the national championship game, he was a huge part of our team, not just that year, but for the 3 years that he played. And he was a great role model for the younger guys and a great leader, so I'm really proud. And I'm proud to say, Donnie, congratulations. You earned it.
The 25th anniversary of the 1992 team going to the national championship, and you know, I think it's fitting that Don is going into the Hall of Fame on this 25th anniversary. He certainly deserves it. There's no doubt about that. And I congratulate him. I'm proud of him, and I love him.
Donnie Tracy, welcome to the Roanoke College Athletic Hall of Fame.
Well, I can't say enough what an honor it is to even be considered for the Hall of Fame. You know, the people that have had confidence in me over the years, really, it does a lot for you. Just from my parents sending me to college at 17, dropping me off and saying, you know, good luck, we know you're going to be fine, to Professor Huddle in the chemistry program, who helped me tremendously get through that, and eventually to graduate school, which is, you know, it really changed my life. To Ed Green and a young assistant coach named Paige Moyer, to have confidence in me to come out and play basketball with these guys was great and fun. But I will say, I found my love in lacrosse. I grew up playing hoops every day of the year, you know, in the snow. And when I was asked to come out and try out for the varsity team with Coach Pilot by Chris Pollock, who was a captain at the time, I kind of scratched my head a little. These guys were good, you know. I wasn't a very good player. I can honestly say that. My stick skills are horrendous. I had a very different experience than Johnny Mason, but Coach was confident, patient, and you know, he gave me time. And it took 3 years, but I figured it out, and I can't thank him enough. You know, the guys that I mentioned in the video that came before me that helped me learn, Will Goldthwait explained offense and defense to me in terms of basketball, which was fantastic. Chris Pollock and the work ethic that guy had was amazing. He was a great role model. And then in that '92 team where we competed in practice every day, and you know, the other offensive players, Colin McGarren, Brad Hennigan, my roommate Dave Gibson, was, you know, you learned from these guys on a daily basis, and then we got to battle against guys like Steve Hoffman and Dan Morrison, who was Defenseman of the Year that year, and Steve Mason in goal, and Craig Fleming in goal. You know, it was nothing better than scoring on Mace or Flem in practice, because they didn't like it very much. So it was, you know, we got after it, and we practiced like we played. The team did great, and I attribute my success to the fact that the team did so well. So I want to thank you. It's an amazing honor. I want to thank my family for coming down, my wife Kelly, daughter Lainey, Brennan and Keegan, my sons, who are already tremendously better players than I ever was. So look for these guys in the years to come. So thanks a lot. I appreciate it. And have a great alumni weekend. Thanks.
Thank you all tonight for coming out in support of Roanoke College Athletics. How about one more round of applause for 4 great Roanoke College student athletes? Thanks to our wonderful dining services staff for their efforts to make this event a success. A very special thank you to Steve Mason. Steve, are you here? I think you are. How about standing up for us? Give Steve credit for all the videos that you've seen. And a very special thanks to my staff. Chris Kilcoyne, class of 2002, is up there. Kelly Higby, his assistant. Mr. Johnny Farmer, my right-hand man. Bless you for the many hours you guys have spent in preparation for tonight's event. In closing, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank you for your continued support for Roanoke College Athletics. To be clear, the college is doing all it can to provide an athletic experience that is commensurate with what he or she would find at like institutions. The competition for students in general has never been more steep. The cost of meeting the financial aid needs of our students is at an all-time high, and providing such to our students remains our most significant challenge. A truly special intercollegiate athletic experience affords student athletes these experiences. Top-notch facilities like this. Top-notch facilities like Kerr Stadium. Amenities for those facilities that set us apart, scoreboards, video boards, etc. State-of-the-art equipment and apparel for training and competition. Attractive and, yes, flashy uniforms, celebrating our brand and our commitment to excellence. And for our away from campus events, safe and comfortable transportation and nourishing meals. And modern video equipment to allow Roanoke College fans, parents, and alumni to follow our student athletes in action. Your unrestricted gifts to the Maroon Club have helped us pursue broad-based excellence. Restricted gifts to your favorite sport have helped our coaches chase championships. We thank you for your belief in our coaches and, of course, our mission to build strong men and women through competition. That's about it for the evening. I sure thank you for coming. I encourage all of you to attend all of our events because we're just getting started. Men's soccer game tonight, I think we kick off at 8 o'clock. Piro Patio dedication tomorrow morning at 10:30. The women's lacrosse will take on Bridgewater College tomorrow at noon. Maroon Club event from 12:30 to 3:30 out at the Piro Patio. And our men's lacrosse team faces off at 2:30 against Hampton-Sydney. For Sunday, men's and women's tennis at 1 o'clock over at our beautiful tennis complex over at the EC campus. Thank you so much for coming. Go Maroons.
With the jester on the sidelines in a cast. Now the halftime air was sweet perfume while the sergeants played a marching tune. We all